Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, my crafty friends. This is Corone, your independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Thanks again for joining me for another week of Case the Catty. You guys, I have something fun for you tonight. We are going to be casing the Catty on featuring the Perched in a Tree bundle in the mini catalog, of course. But I'll tell you all a little bit about that in just a little bit. Just a little bit of admin notes. If you're going to shop with me, you guys, here's the information to shop in my online store. This is how you can contact me for any reason whatsoever. Hi, Yvonne. How are you? Thanks for joining me tonight. And this is my hostess code for tonight. So if you do decide to place an order for any of the products that I'm using tonight, please don't hesitate to use my hostess code if you're placing an order for anything $150 or less, because if you place an order for $150 or more, you're eligible for hostess rewards, and I want you to reap the benefits of placing that order. So please, 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 if you do shop, use the hostess code for anything $149 or less. I keep forgetting to apologize, you guys. My dogs, if they bark, that's just what they do. I apologize. Typically at this time of night, they're okay, but heck, I don't know what's going to happen, okay? So that's what we have for that. Let me see, what other admin notes do I have to share with you really quick? You guys, bingo is coming up. Our inaugural bingo event is coming up on November 5th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And part of the bingo event is that we're getting to make 2 make and takes during the night, okay? And let me share with you the cards that we're gonna create for the event. And you guys, if you register, whenever you register, I will mail you the parts and pieces, not stamped, of course, because it's against Stampin' Up policy to stamp their images for classes. But you will still get the all of the parts and pieces, the die cuts, etc., to make these cards. You just won't get any of the stamped images or sentiments. Okay. Again, I'm trying to keep in policy with Stampin' Up's policies. So one of the cards that we're going to feature is with the Abigail Rose collection, and this is the card that we're going to make. And then the other card is featuring the what is it called? Peaceful Deer. So this is the second card that we're going to create during the bingo. You guys, you don't want to miss it. We have lots of fun. Grab your best drink. November 5th. I will share the Zoom link with you once you reserve an RSVP, and all of the information I will link in the description box below, so you have all of that information to join us for bingo. What else do we have coming up? November Stamp and Sip. You guys, Stamp and Sip is what I call my monthly classes. And starting November, I'm going to go online, you guys. I'm going to do online card kits starting November. The same projects that I'm working on in the in-person class is what you will be able to purchase the kit and do the classes. My classes, you make 3 cards and 3 cards with 3 envelopes. And again, you get all the parts and pieces to make the cards, except any of the stamped images. Now, in the class, we will be focusing on the Mistletoe Magic bundle. I love this card. Again, 3 cards using this bundle. The bundle is $47.50, and it includes the cling mount stamp sets as well as the dies. Okay, the coordinating die. All righty, I'm gonna share more information with you as we go through, but we're gonna get started in the heart of why you are here tonight. That is to case the Catty. You guys, we are casing page 46 of the annual catalog. I hope you can see this. And that is going to be on page 46 of the annual catalog. Yeah, I had a little bit of a session tonight. I don't know what was in my head, but I thought there was something else. So earlier today, I had pulled all of my parts and pieces for I don't know what I pulled it for, but it wasn't for the card that we were doing. So just before we started, I just had to scramble to try to get everything done. Anyway, be that as it may, we are working with, we're going to case this catalog, this item right here, and we're going to case this card right here. So with that, I think we'll start with this one. Okay. Let me tell you what I see in this one, so you can go ahead and grab your your pieces if you're going to stamp along with me. Okay. So this is crumb cake cardstock. Of course, you're going to need some basic white. Let's see, what else are you going to need? This, you're going to need, let me see what else we're going to need. We're going to need, because I wrote all this stuff down, right? It's a little bit of watercoloring that's going on. So we're going to need the colors that we're going to work with in this one is Daffodil Delight, Pool Party, Sahara Sand, Pale Papaya. Those are the ink colors that you're going to need. We're going to need watercolor paper, and then basic white cardstock for the sentiments, okay? And then I'm seeing excuse me, this is die cut, embossed, and that looks like the Leaf Fall 3D embossing folder, so grab that as well. And then your water painters, and I have a little bit of water right here off to the side so you can't see. So we're going to use that for watercoloring. Perfect. All right, so let's get started and see what we got going on here. So for the interest of time, I went ahead already and I embossed. I embossed the piece already, so we don't have to go ahead and worry about doing that. And this is what it looks like, already embossed. We have our card base that's already cut. So we can go ahead, fold, burnish. And then we have a piece for the inside that's going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Let's make sure that that's correct, okay? Two, 4, 1. Wait a minute, I don't like this at all. Yvonne, how was your day today? So this is already cut to 5 1/2. This is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So we need to trim this down a tad. So this needs to be 4. And I'm only gonna taking off a little bit, so I'm a little thingamabobber is gone there. So I'm estimating what my 1/4 inch looks like on there. All right. So let's see, are we gonna stamp anything on the inside? I don't know. Oh, I didn't get my stamps ready. I didn't prep my stamps. Okay, that's okay. That is okay. Oh, I didn't do the other thing I didn't do. You guys, if you haven't seen these dies, right? Let me share with you what they look like. So in the die set, you get 2 sets. Well, not one set, but this is one part of the die set that you get. And this was a celebration freebie. So you would have gotten that as a freebie item, right? For the last celebration. And then the other items that you get in the dies are the leaves. This is the outline for the bird. This is some leaves, and this is, of course, is a branch. So these were all the dies that if you had participating in celebration, this was an add-on item in celebration that you got free. I believe this was one of the $100 add-ons later on in the process. So that was that, and I got that. So let's put this aside. I am one of those people, I should have prepped my cling stamps already. I'm one of those people that I just, I absolutely have to have them. I don't know why, it's a thing in my head, but for me, I have to have them. And so this is how I prep my stamps Okay. And then I just line them up. Whoops. This is like a little magnet going on here. Right? And then I line them up as best as I can, like so. And then like so. All right, let's put that aside. Let's grab our little stamp. Did I bring out my acrylic block? I did not. No worries, it is readily available. All right. I believe because we're gonna watercolor this a little bit, we're gonna stamp it with some stays on. And some watercolor paint. Oh no, this is for the inside. Oops. And on the inside, I want this to be a little soft. So I'm gonna go with the crumb cake. Of course, I have to remember that the card is portrait, no, it's landscape. And so when I stamp my little birdie on the inside of my card, let me stamp off because I don't want it full strength. I want just a hint, just a hint. And I'm just gonna put the little birdie right on my inside, like so. Okay. Y'all, I got scraps everywhere. Ha ha ha. Go figure. Okay. So now we're gonna put this on the inside of our card. We can put that away once we're done adding this to the inside. And just before we work on the rest of the card. Okay. All right. So the next thing we have, and again, I like to build my card first. I don't like to just add. I see other people, the way that they build their stuff is they would have already added the embossed piece, but I like to layer everything and then add it to the card. All right, so I'm gonna stamp the little bird, and this is where our 100 watercolor, this is my shimmery white, that's not my watercolor paper. This is where our watercolor paper will come into play, if I can find the piece that I cut. Right there. And we're gonna use a little bit of stays on because we're gonna do some watercoloring. Let me finish this off. Soft slate. Everybody have a good day today. Tell you, it's only when I'm shooting videos does my all my notifications seem to blow up. I guess everybody's talking at this hour of the day. All right, so I'm gonna stamp 2 only because I like to make sure that if I make a mistake on one, it's already stamped, so I don't have to worry about it. So I'm gonna stamp 2 of them, just to be on the safe side. And if I make no mistakes, then I'll have a second one already stamped. So I can go ahead and create another card if that's what's going to happen. Okay. All righty. So now, again, let's pull out I already told you some of the colors that we're going to be in the card. There's some pool party that we can see right here. What else am I looking at? There's some pool party. Daffodil Delight, that's going to be in the leaves. And Sahara Sand. Okay, So Sahara sand and pool party are what I'm looking at in the bird. We're going to start with our pool party first. And how we're going to do that is, there's a couple of ways you can do it. I'm just going to press to try to get some color on the inside of the lid. And that's where I'm going to get my color from right here, okay? Alrighty. Let's see, where am I seeing? All right, so the pool party is primarily just on the belly. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water right here where I see the pool party. And I'm doing that just so that the color, when we pick it up, gets on there a little bit easier. Just like that. Yeah, would you believe that I'm not a fan of watercoloring? My friend Michelle will tell you that. She's the watercolor queen. I'm not. So let's go ahead and add this one. That way it will all dry. Then of course we can always go back in if we want the color to be a little bit more pronounced. Can always go back in, okay? But you should let it dry a little bit first. That way you can actually see a little bit more of the color. And now Sahara sand. Oh, gotta make sure I put some on the inkwell. So here we go. And all I'm doing again is just pressing like so, just to make sure I get some of the color on the inside of the ink pad. Make sure I clean my brush. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water here, because that's where my color is going to be. And then add the color. I have my second exam is getting ready to happen. I'm taking, I don't know if you guys knew or not, but I am enrolled in the paralegal course at my local community college. Yes, we took our first exam. I did okay, I did well. I think it was an 89% is what I got. So I was pretty okay, pretty happy with that. Normally I'm not happy with a B, but hey, it's not, paralegal is, and learning and memorizing the law is not an easy thing. So I was pretty happy with my grade. And all I'm doing is going back where I think there should be a little bit of highlight, that's all. And again, I'm gonna let it dry a little bit before I add any more color to it. We can always go back in now with a little bit of the pool party. That's somewhat dried. Because I want it to be a little bit more color. You see how when you let it dry for a little bit and you go back and you add it, how you can add a little bit more color, a little bit more depth. And there we go. I think the Sahara sand color is fine. I won't add anything more to that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let that dry before I die cut it. because I don't want to smear what we just did. All righty. Now the next thing we're going to stamp and die cut is the branch. And I'm going to also stamp that on a piece of, on the watercolor, because I'm going to add a watercolor wash to that as well. Oops. This is what happened because I didn't prep ahead of time. I thought I had, because I normally when I get my dies or my stamps, I automatically go ahead and I just automatically put the little sticker on them so that I'm not trying to do it at a later time. Here we go. Uh-oh. I made a boo-boo. Okay, here we go. I'm getting ready to start a new series on my YouTube channel. I think I mentioned that to you guys before. And it's called Stamping Basics. Things you wished you knew when you started crafting or making cards. And I'm gonna go, I think I'm gonna do my first video. I'm gonna post my first video tomorrow. So stay tuned on the channel so you can see what that is going to look like. And I'm going to focus on the first thing I'm going to do is talk about the different types of stamps. Okay. And I want a branch to be a little bit darker than the bird. So I'm going to go in with soft suede for my bird. Okay. Or my branch, I'm sorry. And all I do is I just add a little bit of water just to make sure that when I do apply the ink, it transfers easier. And I'm not too concerned with going out of the lines because why? We're getting ready to die cut it. There we go. All righty. Rinse the brush, let everything dry. And I'm just gonna cut these. Let me put this stuff, let me clear myself a little bit of a path. And then I'm gonna do a couple of things. Still need this watercolor paper. Not completely done just yet. And I'm trimming them down because it's easier to go through the mini cut and emboss machine because it's a narrower. So I cut them out, cut them into narrower pieces. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, I believe we said it was, what were the colors we said? Pale Papaya and Daffodil Delight. And we're going to create just a little bit of a watercolor wash on this paper, and this is what we're going to use to die cut the leaf image. There's my Pale Papaya, and Daffodil Delight is, of course I didn't pull my colors ahead of time, which would have made more sense, but sometimes color does not necessarily do what makes sense. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Well, we're going to change up our plans a little bit. We're going to go with pale papaya and bumblebee because that's what we can find. So pale papaya is a little bit lighter. Do the same thing, create our palette in the middle. And with our watercolor brush, again, I'm gonna just wet our surface a little bit, like so. Then add the color. Yeah. Yvonne, how was your dog's walk today? Add a little bit more pale papaya. And then we will be ready to die cut our pieces and then start to put our card together. Okay. All righty. So now let me take a minute. I'm going to clear some things away just because I find that the more things I take away, move out of their place, the less room I have to work with. So I'm just putting things away. Soft suede and Sahara sand. All right. I'm going to bring out the mini cut and emboss machine, you guys. And of course, that's going to shape the surface a little bit. So bear with me. Like so. Put all this stuff out of the way. And we are going to need our sandwich. Yes, I keep my plates in the oh. You gotta develop those muscles, Yvonne. So for die cutting cut and emboss, all we need is two of plates 2 and 1, and of course place 1. Flip, and then let's grab the die. And again, I'm going to apologize for shaking the table because it is going to do that. That is for sure. Now, I have this little green tape. It's not necessary, but I tend to do it just so that my die doesn't shift as I'm going through the cut and emboss machine. Okay, let me shift it a little bit, like so. Make sure you can see it. And there we go. Just gonna turn this puppy and get it through. Now, though we only need one bird for the project, I'm gonna cut out the second one just in case. And then we're gonna cut out the branch and then the leaves. I love this mini cut and emboss machine, you guys. It's just so handy when I'm working, especially if I'm shooting a video and I have small space to work with. It is really, really handy to have this mini cut and emboss machine. All right, okay, we can put this guy away. And then grab the die with the branch. Then get that die cut. And again, you'll remember that I said that when I was watercoloring, I didn't pay that much of attention to going out of the lines, because when you die cut, obviously some of the watercolor paper that's outside of the lines, it's going to get cut off. So I wasn't too concerned with watercoloring outside of the lines. I think it shifted a little bit, so that might be an issue there. Okay. Yeah, it shifted a little bit, but it'll work. It's workable. It's workable. All right, let me put these away so that I don't take up a lot of room. And then we can start to assemble. Oh wait, I forgot. Oops. Sorry guys, I forgot. I got one more thing to die cut. One more thing to die cut for this card, because I think we die cut on the other card. So we got one more thing we need to die cut for this card. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that now. And then we'll go ahead and assemble the card. All right. So on that watercolor wash, this is how we're going to get the leaves. We just did a wash of color, and so that's how we're going to get different colors and pigments in our leaves. Matter of fact, if we had wanted to add a little bit of, ooh, I know. I didn't think about it before, but I'm doing it now. Yes, I know. I add a little bit of red in there. I don't know why, but I'm seeing a little bit of red. I don't know why. I saw a little bit of red in there, so I wanted to make sure that I added it in my leaves. There we go. This is how, if you're casing something from somewhere or someone, if you see something different, it's how you can make the card yours. I think the rule. No, we do not sell they don't sell the mini cutter. I believe it was a one-time only offering, Yvonne, that was either for demonstrate. No, it was a new join. If you had signed up to start with Stampin' Up, during, I think it was a couple seasons ago, I can't remember the exact time. That was an item that you got in your starter kit. And then the Stampin' Up! Made it available to demonstrators. And it was only for that time period. So no, Stampin' Up! Still does not still sell the mini cutter. All right, now we can put these away. All right. All right, so now we're going to bring these back in. So when we did that, right, all we did, remember with the difference of the leaves and the watercolor wash, all I did was create my leaves in different colors. And because I saw the little bit of red in there, you'll see how the red added a little bit more depth of color. More fall-like, I guess, is where I was going for. And so now we can start to assemble this card. All right. So the first thing, and I'm going to lay it out first just to make sure I have everything where I want it to be. I see that going here. I see this here. And then I see this guy right here. So there you go. That's what I'm looking at. So here we go. Well, let's just assemble and see what we got going on. First was our branch. Don't forget, we got to leave space for the sentiment that's down here, right? Then we're going to add this guy about right here. Now I should have used the adhesive, the double-sided adhesive back strip, which I did not use. I could also have put this through, let me do that, because Yvonne, I think we had that question some time ago about using the Xyron machine for things like that, right? So all I'm going to do is run that through my Xyron machine. Just going to burnish to make sure the adhesive gets where it needs to go. And I'm going to hold on to the transfer sheets for just a little bit, because then I can use it to get rid of some of the adhesive that's in between. That's in between the punched out pieces. Perfect. All right, now I can't decide whether I need to pop up my bird or just let him sit there. What do you think? Dimensionals or not? Should I use dimensionals on the bird or should I just let it sit there? I'm a dimensional queen, so I'm itching to add dimensionals to it. What do you think, Yvonne? Should I add dimensionals or not? I think I'm going to add dimensionals. How many dimensionals do you think I'm going to use? You didn't do what, Yvonne? Use the transfer sheet to remove the extra adhesive? I always use dimensional. You know, I do use dimensionals on my cards, Yvonne, and I don't ever have to pay extra postage, just so you know that. I only have to pay extra postage if I do multiple layers plus dimensionals, and the weight of the card is over, I don't even know what my overage is, but so anyway, we're gonna add this guy right here, like so. Oh yeah, I like it. But you know what I'm gonna do, because I don't see a lot of sparkle and shine. And you know what? Who's your bling girl? Me, right? Winka Stella, here to the rescue. Hello. Add me some wink. Now I'm gonna set this aside for just a second. And then I'm gonna find my sentiment. Your kindness, something, something is the one that they used. Which one is that one? That's this one. So after I get off tonight, I'm just going to go take all of these off and transfer them. And that's kind of why I do it ahead of time, because I absolutely hate when I get started on something that I got to stop and start to keep to add these, which is my fault because I didn't do it earlier. Yvonne, do you add the stickers to your oh yeah, it really isn't. It's the weight, and I don't think, for me, it's not so much the dimensionals, but it's also the type of embellishment. So if I'm adding a lot of pearls and stuff, and if I'm telling them that I want it to not to be hand sorted, or if I want it to be hand sorted, that's where the extra cost comes in. Now, all hand sorted means is that, of course, they don't put it through the machine so they can crush your embellishments. And so because they don't do that, then you have to pay a little bit extra for that. All right. So let's put our little birdie aside, because I think we're done with him. We're going to use him in one card. And I'm going to need this sentiment. Now, one of the other things about sentiments or stamps and acrylic block. Now, sometimes when I'm lazy, I'll use the biggest, whatever block is available. What I realize is that your block size should be just a little bit bigger than your stamp set. And the reason for that is it avoids the any kind of rocking. It avoids getting ink on the excess sides over here, which can, of course, make a mess on your card. So that's kind of why I tend to, I've started now trying to use a block that is appropriate in size for whatever the stamp set is, if that makes sense what I just said. And we're going to just stamp our sentiment like so. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Gonna decide on what label. Oh, label me lovely. Ha ha ha. That's the punch I'm going to use. Nope, not that one. Where's my label me lovely punch? Nope, wrong one. Okay. So I'm gonna use my label me lovely punch. Uh-oh, no, I'm not. And the only reason I'm not using that punch is because I didn't stamp high enough. And so it would not have fit. So I have to adjust fire. And so I'm going to use the I'm using the story label punch. And y'all notice I did not heat emboss my sentiment tonight, right? I know, right? Something's wrong with me. I did not heat emboss my sentiment. Oy. All right, so I think we have all of the parts and pieces ready to assemble our card. I'm gonna put this right here. But before I put that here, let's go ahead and add it to add this part to the card. Oh. Have you guys had the opportunity to take a look at the fitting florets set that's coming out? It is absolutely gorgeous. I do have it. I've started working on a couple of cards. I'm going to work on a couple more. It's going to be the stamp set that I use for my December class because it's available for customer purchase in November. I'm trying to get all of my samples ready so that when it's time for the class, everything will be ready to go. All right, so here we go with this. And then I'm going to use some more dimensionals on my, oh, before I do that, what do I want to do? Let me grab my crumb cake. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color around my punched sentiment. Gives it a little bit of depth, kind of makes it look like there's a border around it, a matte layer around it, but it also adds just a little bit of character. And so I've just taken a very boring piece of basic white cardstock and I've dressed it up a little bit, and it's just going to add a little bit of pop to my sentiment. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4 tonight. Okay. And the last thing we have to add is some embellishments. And I think I want to use my brushed metallics. Hold on, let me find them. Go into my jar of embellishments and find my brushed metallics or my matte black ones. Either one, whichever one I find first is the one I'm going to use. Well, they're not here. Okay. Have some more somewhere. Yeah, those are the black ones. So I guess we're going to use these. Do you have it, Yvonne? I think you do. Don't you have the Perched? Are you stamping with me? I hope you're stamping with me. All right, so let's see. One right here. One right here. They did one right here. I'm gonna change and do this one. I know they did all black, but of course I can't ever do exactly what other people are doing. I gotta do something different, right? And then there's one right here. And then there's one right here-ish. And then there's one, I'm gonna go with the black one about right here. All righty. You guys, the first card is done. What do you think? Let me clear all this stuff away so you can see it. My junk. All right, so based on the first card, this is what we got. What do you think? I added a little bit of red here because I saw a little bit of red coloring in here. That's what I wanted to do. Ah, okay. I added different color pearls or dots right here. I changed up the label. I colored in my branch. So those are some differences that I did on here to make this card mine. And then of course I stamped on the inside little bird. Awesome. All right, so let's get ready to start on number 2, which is this card. And for the interest of time, y'all, I went ahead and I die cut it. I die cut it already, so I just need to punch the pieces out. I did. I see red a lot. When I think of fall, I see that red color a lot. So when I don't see it in a lot of things, I know I have to add it just because that's what I see in my mind's eye. I see a lot of reds. I see purples. And that's what makes it fall to me, reds and purples. Oranges, like a deeper yellow, like the Mango Melody yellow. That's what I see. I love Cajun Craze, Mary Merlot as a fall color. And yes, I could have used my little brush, and I'm not sure why I'm not using it to get these parts out. Okay. So as you can see let me dump this part. All right, so here we go on this, right? So the other thing that I'm going to do is I see a back. This is 4 by 5 1/4, I believe. Let me make sure. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I need to trim this down just a little bit. And I'm not even going to measure on this one. I just need to trim a little bit. I don't want to cut off the die cut piece. Don't want to cut it out at all. This is going to be white on white. Okay, like that. I think that's great. Then I'm going to use, this is soft seafoam, I believe. So let me just go ahead and cut this down to size. I need this to be about the same size 4 by 5 1/4. Somehow I die cut that on the slant, so this part is going to be slanted though. Did not even realize that I had die cut this on the slanted. So, we're gonna have a slanted card today, y'all. Okay. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, guys. This is what happens when you don't think through what it is you have to do. So what I am going to do is I am going to add a piece of double-sided tape. I'm just going to add some double-sided tape. Like so. I'm going to take this card into such a direction that I hadn't even been thinking of. Oops. And then I'm going to trim it. Just as a note and a tip, it's always easier to add the double-sided adhesive before you die cut than to try to figure it out after, like I'm doing just now, okay? And so you're saying, Karan, but you'll have all that excess adhesive showing through. Yes, I will, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to make it a little different. As soon as I can get this guy off. Let me burnish this a little bit more. There we go. Then we're just going to lay our die cut piece over it. I need my eyes. I got to put my eyes on, right? So that I can make sure that all of it gets captured on adhesive. Let's see. So the first thing I did wrong was, oh, here's what I can do. That might make it a little bit easier. Because it's easier to add it this way, right? Right? And because it's that silicone sheet, it's not going to adhere to it. Whereas if I had done that on the piece of grid paper, it would have definitely adhered to that and not gone anywhere. All right, so what I'm going to do, what colors am I seeing in there? I'm going to keep it fallish. So I'm going to go in with some glitter, right? I'm going to add glitter burnish it in. Bet you didn't know you could do that, huh? Perfect. And if you've burnished that glitter in well enough, it won't come off because it's stuck to the adhesive. Perfect. And now all I'm going to do I guess that seems to be stuck. I'll wipe that off later. All right, so this is done. And then I'm gonna take a sponge dauber, and it looks like it's maybe a little bit of smoky slate, maybe. And then just add a little bit of smoky slate to add a little bit of color so that the white is not so stark. You don't want to cover it up completely, just to add a little bit of color to it, a little punch. All right, so this part is done. And now the last thing, no, not last, but a couple things that we need to do is we need to die cut some of the leaves, and let's get to doing that. We need both sides of sizes. We had that gold, I don't remember what it's called, but it's that gold that goes with the texture sheet paper. We're just gonna die cut that. Vaughn, you're not talking to me tonight. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share my videos. Matter of fact, I earned tonight's cards, or a card pack. Go ahead and share my video. Come back and tell me that you shared to be entered into the drawing to win tonight's cards. Oops. Okay. So we got that, and we got this, and we need in soft sea foam. I need a big one. There's my other piece of soft sea foam. Okay. Oh yeah, so many different things you can do. And you know, I think, quote unquote, when you make a mistake, it's just the opportunity to let your creativity shine a little bit. Okay. Because had I not forgotten, no, had I added the adhesive, double-sided adhesive before, I would never have had the opportunity to add the glitter to the background. So sometimes making mistakes is a blessing. Yes. Not all of, most of the time, but not all the time. And you can always find a way to make something work out. Okay, so here we go. Kind of like into, we need a white card base, basic white. And again, this is a standard card base, A2, 8.5, 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm just folding, I'm not scoring. Okay. And our, oh, I see some bow in there. Okay, not a problem. I'm gonna add some twine to that, but I'm gonna add everything else first. So that is on, popped up. I can definitely see that part. And I'm going to use probably the rest of this pack just to make sure on this piece, that's for sure. 1. Most normal people would probably do maybe 6 dimensionals. I'm not a normal person. I ran out of my adhesive sheets. That was the last of it, so I have to order some more. My foam adhesive sheets. So I have to order some more, which is why I'm reduced to using the dimensionals this manner. Although I would never use them normally to cover this much area. That's just ridiculous to me. Because even though I've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 of them on here, it's still not enough to me. So all right, so now outside of the fact that I cut my woodland scene on the diagonal, which I should not have done, but I did, and I'm going to use it anyway, because ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm going to add that here. Here we go. And then we're going to add the leaves. I think what I see is big, big, small, small, right? Big, big, small, small is what I see. Okay, I think that's about how that goes. So let's go ahead and start adding this down. I don't think the big ones won't fit in the Xyron, but the little ones will. All right, so big, big adhesive. Big, big. So next week's case, the Catty, is the stamp set Countless Trees. It is one of the reversible stamp sets that we have in the collection. And if you don't know what the reversible stamp sets are, those are the stamps that stamp it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I have that too, a Yvonne foam tape. But the the reversible stamps are Stampin' Up. I think this is what I don't know how many years now, but recently we started coming out with, in almost every catalog, there's a set of reversible stamps. And what that means is on one side of it's primarily used for layered stamping. On one side of the stamp, you have the outline image. And then on the second side of the stamp, you have the detailed image. So instead of having like 2 stamps, one for detail and one for the outline, you have one stamp and what detail is on the front side and is on the back side. I'm gonna Where's my sentiment? My sentiment's going to go mostly that way, so I can go ahead and do that. Okay. So there's goes. And then lastly, well, besides the bowl, I'm going to stamp our sentiment. And the sentiment is in Versamark and heat embossed with white embossing powder. All right, and which sentiment did we use? We used, no matter the season, I am here for you. So let's get that one prepped and ready. I believe it's this one. Yep. No matter the season, I am here for you. Get the sticker, especially when it comes to sentiment, you guys, I absolutely have to have the sticker on. I'm just absolutely lost without the sticker. The thing about red rubber stamps is sometimes there's a little bit of a excess rubber around the sentiment. So knowing where the sentiment is and how to line it up is like so important to me. Otherwise, sometimes I'm crooked or I'm not where I need to be in order to get the stamp lined up properly. Put you back. And we're going to use, because remember I said we try to use a stamp set or block that is just a little bit bigger than our sentiment. It's longer, but not bigger. And where's my Versamark? Right. Okay. Add our sentiment. It's definitely longer this way. Yvonne, since I found the adhesive foam sheets, I sometimes forget that I have the foam tape on the rolls. I forget that. And I have lots of rolls. Don't have a lot of stray powder that I have to brush off. Alrighty, so here we go. I'll let the heat tool warm up. I think they're warm. You can see as the embossing powder starts to melt. There we go. Okay. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this off. I think if we petition Stampin' Up to bring this little trimmer back, they might. Hopefully they would. This is such a blessing right here, you guys. Again, obviously it can't be used to do a lot of cutting of big sheets of paper, But when we're trying to trim down these little pieces, it is a godsend to have it. Perfect. All right, and so because I don't like to be, you know what I'm looking for? It's one of my, oh, it's the triple banner punch. The very best trio. That's what I'm looking for. I think this is what I'm looking for. I think this will do what I want it to do. Let's see. So what I'm wanting to do is to just do a diagonal here. I think that's what this part does. So let me see. Let me test it out before I go punching on my stuff. Yep, that's exactly what it's gonna do. So I want, oh no, this is not big enough. Yeah, not big enough. I'm gonna punch out my words. So I'm just gonna cut it myself. Might not be as perfect as I want it to be, but all I want to do is cut that and cut that. Just to add something different to my sentiment, a little bit of a difference. It's not just a square sentiment that's on there. And then I know there's a little bit of a bow with some twine. So that's what I'm going to do. Add a little bit of bow. Here's almost done with my twine too. Okay. Pinch this in the middle. And I'm going to reach for my third hand. I need this for a minute. And all the third hand's going to do is hold this stuff together. And then I'm going to cut another little piece. And just tie me a little bit of a knot in the middle here. Oops. That was kind of a lazy man's bow right there. Of course, I can't get it finished. Sometimes I don't know whether having long bare nails is a blessing or a curse. I haven't figured that part out yet. Tighten the loop. Okay. And bring the tails. Fluff my bows. I'm gonna add me a glue dot right here. You can do a glue dot. You can do a little bit of snail adhesive, or I'm sorry, seal, because that's what it is now. It's seal. And just put a little bit of right here. And then make sure to line this up right here on the back, like so. Continue to spread your loops. And we're going to trim this after we've put it on here. Okay. All right, let's move that out of here. We are going to need some more dimensionals. I did not finish that pack, I don't believe. Somewhere on this desk. Oh, here we go. Me dropping my pad. That's why I try to move things out of the way, y'all. Because if I don't move it out of the way, I'm gonna try to put one over this, but this is probably not the best place for one, but that's what we're gonna do. And then I'm gonna put one under the loops here. I need to trim this one a little bit. Alrighty. Now let's take our stuff off, get our sentiment put on, and then we will be finished with this card. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we're gonna put this right here. So make sure I can see. Here we go, that goes there. Then I'm gonna trim my tail. So I don't need my tail to be that long. And there you go. Well, thank you, Yvonne. So here's card number 2 that we created tonight, you guys. I think we did an awesome job of recreating it. We did embellish a little bit with me adding the little bit of glue, the glitter in the back. So we have a little bit more of a starry sky look going on, a sparkly starry sky scene going on here. And our card is completely finished, you guys. What do you think? I think we did a very good job of casing the Catty tonight, you guys, with a little bit of extra embellishments, and I think we did a great job. Anyway, so next week, as I said, you guys, it is Countless Trees. That is the set that we're going to case, Countless Trees. Don't forget, I'm going to add the link to register for bingo, to register for the November class in the mail if you'd like to do that. And I'm sharing again about our online host club. Please let me know if you're interested. I'd love to have you in my online host club. And again, thank you guys for joining me this evening, spending this hour, almost hour and 30 minutes of your time with me tonight as we created these 2 cards featuring the Perched on a Tree, in a Tree bundle on page 46 of the mini catalog. You guys, thanks for joining me tonight, and happy stamping. You're welcome.